So Viktor Gyokeres has reportedly now rejected Man United because he wants Arsenal. After Man United held exploratory talks with Viktor Gyokeres, he's let it be known that he wants to join Arsenal. That's coming from Paul Hurst in The Times. Having previously been reported in Portugal that Viktor Gyokeres had said no to Manchester United, that the player's entourage had officially informed United they are no longer an option for him. We've then had claims from Portugal that Arsenal submitted a first official bid for him of €55 million plus 10. This was a couple of days ago at this point, and those same Portuguese sources are claiming Arsenal will now submit a second offer for Viktor Gyokeres, totalling €70 million. But the thing is, they're talking about a second bid. Nobody else has even reported a first bid. So there's all this noise coming from Portugal. There's now, this talk of Viktor Gyokeres rejecting Man United because he wants Arsenal. But I still feel like Arsenal are kind of playing Viktor Gyokeres to get Leipzig to agree a deal for Sesko. All of the reporting from credible journalists, Fabrizio, Ornstein, suggests that Sesko became the number one. And so this all seems like a lot of noise. And I don't really get it.
I'm getting very sceptical on the whole thing. There's so much going on around Viktor Gyokeres at the moment between him, the club, the agent. Is this the agent putting this out there to try and hasten the deal, or is this correct? And Arsenal have made this bid for Gyokeres. Now, the thing is, it doesn't look like Arsenal have closed the door on a bid for Gyokeres. It's looked like Sesko is the favourite, but it's gone a bit quiet on Sesko over the past few days. And it's funny, we were discussing this yesterday on Talking Transfers. It was a great show yesterday with me, James and Laurie, where I was sort of explaining that, listen, lots of little things go on in the background. It can be the club, Sporting, throwing this out there to, it could be the agent throwing this out there to try and, get some sort of deal done for Gyokeres. It could be Gyokeres himself. It could be even Arsenal putting it out there because they, maybe they want to get the deal done for Sesko. So they're sort of, reminding Sesko that, listen, hey, if you don't hurry up and sort yourself out, we'll move for Gyokeres. Who knows?
On Gyokeres from Fabrizio Romano, we'll get to that. And then also the latest on Nico Williams, Nusa from Leipzig, and also the latest on Zinchenko and Kvyat's futures at Arsenal. So let's get straight into it and let's talk about Gyokeres. We talked about him a lot, especially on yesterday's live show, about all the drama that is going on between him and Sporting. But this is what Fabrizio has just reported. Viktor Gyokeres' priority is to join Arsenal this summer, despite calls from Manchester United in the recent weeks. Gyokeres always an option amid Sesko talks with no deal sealed so far. Arsenal keep assessing situation. United remain keen but believe deal now unlikely. So Fabrizio has just confirmed that Gyokeres' priority is to join Arsenal this summer transfer window. That is crazy. That is very, very good to hear that he actually wants us ahead of, his former manager at Man United and any other team that wants him. Now, it's literally up to us. Now, yesterday we discussed about all the drama going on in terms of the money. They say they're going to allow him to leave for £67 million this transfer window. Had a gentleman's agreement, but according to reports from Portugal, they're saying that now Sporting are saying, actually, no, we're not going to sell you for that 67 million pounds. We want close to 85 million pounds for you. That's the only way we are going to sell you. And Gyokeres has not been happy with that. Gyokeres himself posted on his Instagram story the other day and said, whatever is going on outside there, I'll come to say the truth one day, basically implying that everything that the Sporting president and the Sporting board have been saying about him and the disagreement and all of that, it's all a lie, and that he is in the right and them they're in the wrong. Basically, they lied all about what they had agreed on last season. So we've all thought that you're going to sign Sesko. Speaking for myself, I definitely thought we were going to sign Sesko. I said 80% we're going to sign Sesko, 20% Gyokeres, because of many different factors. We wanted Sesko last transfer window. Even in January, we were kind of trying to push for Sesko to join us as early as possible, but it didn't happen because Leipzig at that point, they were still trying to fight for Champions League football in the league, Europa League football in the league. They eventually didn't get it. And the fact that they eventually didn't get it, it was looking very likely that Leipzig were just going to let Sesko go, and Sesko would be happy to leave. Sesko wants to join Arsenal. Leipzig need that money because they're not in European football, and we've been told that Leipzig want Arsenal to do that deal as quickly as possible so that they can use that money elsewhere. But now it's looking like Arsenal that also really, really want Gyokeres. Again, we've been told that Arteta really wants Sesko, but Bata really wants Gyokeres. And on top of that, we've been told that majority of the coaching staff and the board prefer Sesko to Gyokeres because of the age, because of the overall financial package. Gyokeres would want more in terms of wages. Sesko would be lower, and then transfer fee, even if Sesko would be higher. All the agent fees and everything, if you combine everything, basically Sesko would be a better package. That's what we've been told. And also, obviously, the age, very important from what we've been told, that they want a younger player. But I don't think anyone really knows what the truth is. Yesterday, I had a couple of theories. Is it that Arsenal really wants Gyokeres as a first option, and we've just been using Sesko's name as a way to push Sporting to lower the fee for Gyokeres? Or is it the other way around? Do Arsenal really want Sesko, and we are just using Gyokeres as a way to, force Leipzig to drop the price for Sesko, and we can go for him because that's a player we've been linked to since last season? And is it the fact that one of the coaches or the board or Barca, one of them has changed their mind and have decided to go for the other striker? Or have they noticed right now, after really being linked with Sesko, that, hey, you know what? Actually, Gyokeres might end up leaving for like 60 million. Should we just wait a little bit and try to get Gyokeres? We never know. Maybe they really wanted Sesko, but because Gyokeres' money was a lot, but now they've realized that Gyokeres' money will be cheaper. They prefer Gyokeres to Sesko as a player. Who knows? It's a lot of possible conclusions to that. A lot of different theories to that. No one really knows what the story is. But as of today, Fabrizio has confirmed that Viktor Gyokeres' priority is to join Arsenal. So that is something that we know. Gyokeres wants to join Arsenal. But do Arsenal really want Gyokeres, or do we want Sesko first? Now, from what we've been told, it's like 75, 80 million for both of them to really convince Sporting and Leipzig, one of them. But we thought it was going to be like around 60 million for Sesko and maybe 67 million for Gyokeres, around that. I don't think there's going to be a big difference in terms of the gap, in terms of the fee, or whichever teams both of them end up at. I don't think the money that they're going to go for, it's going to be a lot of difference. Also, they have to look at the, in terms of the overall package, the wages, how much you're going to pay either player, and also installments. Will Sporting allow installments? Will Leipzig allow installments? All of that. Now, for me, Gyokeres has always been my first option ever since last season when we were being linked to Gyokeres and Isaac. I said I prefer Gyokeres at Arsenal, and he went ahead and had another unbelievable season, an unforgettable season for him and for Sporting. They went on to win the league, and he's basically won the league for them. He's absolutely incredible. That is a striker majority of the Arsenal fans want. At the beginning of the transfer window, we did a poll, and around 70% wanted Gyokeres. Now, there is still a few people who want Sesko because of different reasons. Some people feel like Sesko fits our playing style better. Some people love the fact that he's younger than Gyokeres. Some people feel like Gyokeres scoring those goals in Portugal doesn't mean as much as Sesko scoring those goals in Germany. Whatever. I don't think it's easy to get 80 goal contributions or 100 goals in 2 years, whichever country you're playing in. I think Portugal is still a top league. If it was that easy, there would have been like another 8, 9, 10 players who would have already done 100 goals in 2 years if it was that easy playing in Portugal. So that's still an unbelievable record. It's not that he's only doing it in the league. He's doing it for his country, for Sweden. He's doing it in the Champions League for Sporting. He's doing it in other competitions where he's playing against teams that are not Portuguese-based. So for me, I'd be very happy if we ended up getting Gyokeres. I mean, it came to a point where the last week or so, I've been feeling, you know what, just get me a striker. Either of them, just bring them, because we really need a striker. We don't want to end up without any of them. And Gyokeres goes to United, and then Sesko ends up at Liverpool, and then you end up without any striker. I was at a point where I thought, listen, just get for me any of them. I'm happy to get any of them. Absolutely no problem. But who we are going to get, still absolutely no idea. But I'll keep on saying this every time I talk about Sesko and Gyokeres. Whoever we get, it has to work. It has to work because we are very, very desperate. So that is Fabrizio, but we have more news on Gyokeres, and this is it from Record Portugal. Arsenal will submit a new offer at the beginning of the week for Viktor Gyokeres. Bid will be closer to meeting their demands, but will still be below 70 million mark. So are we going to make an offer for around, 65, 60 million euros for him? I'd say maybe 65 million euros. Yesterday, when you're talking about Gyokeres, you're told that he made a bid of around 55 million plus 10 million in add-ons. Maybe now if that will not be add-ons, maybe you'll just straight up say 65 million around there. So whichever offer we make, I still feel like it's going to be low. I even think even if you give them that 70 million, they would still say no. But from what I'm hearing, also other rumors saying that the agent is going to get money every time Sporting reject any bid of above 50 million or something like that. That would be crazy, because if they reject like 6-7 bids of 50 million, 55 million, 58 million, the agent is just will just keep on pocketing the money. So Sporting in a tough situation where they have to sell Gyokeres as soon as possible, even if the bid is 55 million, not like 78 million that they want. Who knows, man? So it's a tricky situation. They've fallen out right now. Gyokeres is talking about Sporting. Sporting president is talking about Gyokeres and saying, "No, we never say that," or nothing like that. So it's going to be interesting, though. So Gyokeres still has a chance to join Arsenal somehow. I thought that would be over because we were really pushing for Sesko over the last 5-6 days. And interesting, though. Let's see who we are going to get. But that's the latest on our striker situation.